In this video, I want to talk about my top three favorite SPACs, and I'm sorry if the ones that you love don't make it on the list. But what I would hope is if you tell me what your favorite SPACs are after you watch this video. If you disagree with me, tell me down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite SPACs are, and we'll talk about them hopefully in a future video. Put a ticker symbol and let me know why those are your favorite SPACs, and we'll talk about it. But we're going to talk about my favorite SPACs because I'm important too. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm Richard Allen. We talk about companies and stocks and lots of different things on this channel. And sometimes I give you a little wisdom about how I parent, like in a video yesterday. That was fun. Thank you guys for all the love. It was amazing. And that wasn't my intention at all by sharing that video. I just hope that you guys get a little bit of my perspective and how I do things and how I think. So that was my intention with that video. But today we're going to talk about my three favorite SPACs, and I think you guys know what they are. And we're going to go down the list, not necessarily in any order, but first we're going to talk about SPE, SBE. You guys should know this is a SPAC that's merging with the company Chargepoint. Chargepoint is the largest by far, and I mean by far, EV charging station provider in the entire US and Europe. They have a 73% market share here in the US. They're absolutely massive. This company is a big deal, and they are going public in the first quarter of next year. We do not have an exact date yet. Unfortunately, just recently, the SPAC vote was delayed until January 15th at the earliest, okay? We thought it was going to be on the 15th just a couple days ago, but it was delayed at least until January 15th, but that date isn't set in stone yet. But this is a very exciting company. This is a SPAC that has gone from $15 range since we started talking about it all the way up to $40-some at one point, and now it's trading at about $36. You can see that here on the chart, or $35.94 after hours today. In the short term, I do have one potential concern with this SPAC, and because I think it just broke below a trend line. So I'm going to draw this trend line here for you, and I'm going to draw this one here, and this is a trend line. These are two trend lines that create a wedge essentially, and with any sort of technical analysis, and this is very basic technical analysis, again, not an expert, not a financial advisor, but in the short term, this is a bearish signal. That means that there's potential that this stock will fall a little more because it didn't bounce up and break out of this wedge like APXT, what we were talking about the other day, and I'll show you that in a second on the chart. So keep this in mind with SBE right now in the short term. Now, a lot of you were worried that because the merger got delayed, that this was time to sell SBE. Some of you were very excited that the merger was delayed because there's a chance. The garbage guy's here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Picking up our garbage. Oh, the wonders of working in your garage. Get out of here, garbage man. You do a good service, but leave. SBE. Some of you were excited that the merger was delayed because you think there's more room for the stock to run. I was one of those. I think that this isn't necessarily a bad thing. If the stock can get back up to $40, $45, $50 before the merger and then have that potential inevitable dip that most SPACs have, right? We've got to be aware of that. Another SPAC we talk about is IPOB. That isn't going to be a SPAC for long. It's changing over on Monday to OPEN. So surprisingly, that's not on the list, but that's the only reason. Because that's going to be OPEN on Monday. We're not talking about SPACs anymore in that case, okay? So SBE, keep in mind, it just broke out below this trend line, and that's not necessarily a good sign. So it looks like anything could really happen on Monday. But there's a chance it will fall down to, this $33 range or so. It's 10%, something like that, that I think we could see before we correct back up, okay? So it's something to keep in mind here with SPE. Let's move on to APXT. Now, I drew these trend lines the other day in my APXT video, and it did break out above this, and that was my prediction. This was looking like really bullish action, and it did. It broke out. So I'm predicting that next week we're going to have a really good week for APXT. I think we're going to get at least back to 1550, if not all-time highs like I predicted in that video just the other day. APXT is a company that is merging with the largest Microsoft 365 data solutions provider partner in the entire world. This is a massive company. They're already profitable. They have zero debt. I mean, this is an exciting company that has grown tremendously over the years on their own as a private company. And they've been a Microsoft partner for a very, very long time. Like I said, they're the largest in their space, and I think it's a really exciting opportunity. And it still is priced very well right now, and I think there's a lot more room for this stock to go over the next few years. So this is a long-term hold for me, okay? APXT is merging with AvePoint. Long-term hold for me. Great people on this team. The CEO is fantastic, TJ Zhang, and there's great people that come along with this SPAC as well. The APXT team is led by no other than Jeff Epstein himself. Not that one. The one that used to be the CFO of Oracle. This guy is fantastic in the tech world. He's coming on. He's going to be part of the team as well. And super smart guy. Will definitely help AvePoint go to the next level over the next few years. And it looks like this merger is going to go through the first quarter of next year, so we don't have to wait super long to find out when this is going to go. But I think there's a lot more room for this to run until that merger is completely announced. Okay. Now let's move on to my third and probably most favorite SPAC right now. It's BFT. Bacon for my tomatoes. One of you bought this stock just because I said that the B stood for bacon. Amazing story. It really has nothing to do with just bacon, but thank you for sharing that story. That was amazing. But this company is led by Bill Foley, the legend from Fidelity, and they are merging with PaySafe, which people are rightfully so calling the next PayPal or Square. Okay, this is a company. PaySafe has $100 billion in processed transactions every year, and they're just getting started. From what I can tell, I think they're going to be a big deal. And Bill Foley's coming on to help increase their margins. He's going to be the chairman of their board. And he's coming on, and I think he's going to do some fantastic things to ensure that PaySafe is a leader in this space, in the digital wallet space, in the POS space, which stands for point of sale systems. This is going to be a big deal moving forward, and this is probably my favorite SPAC right now. Right? I mean, besides IPOB, because I believe that Open Door is revolutionizing real estate and will go on to be a dominating factor in real estate for years and years to come. But PaySafe used to be a public company. When it was trading as a public company, it is now private. Blackstone brought them private, and Blackstone's going to make some good money on this merger. But I believe that there's a lot of upside for this SPAC as well, and I don't think it's too late to get in and ride this wave up until the merger. Now, the merger for this isn't slated until the first half of 2021, and we don't completely know what that means yet. It could mean that we won't get a merger until the second quarter of 2021, and some people think that that's why this is moving a little slower than we would like. But look, keep in mind, this is up 30-some%, right? Since we've started talking about it. This isn't a company that I mean, a lot of us haven't been a part of a bear market before, because or even remember what a bear market looks like, because this year has been crazy, and I get it. But this kind of movement in a matter of a week or 2 weeks, right? is fantastic. Making 30%, 20-some% on your money in the course of a week. I mean, it's a really good move. And I think we have to correct our expectations a little bit going forward, because I think next year is going to be much, much different than this year, okay? I'm not saying we're going to have a crash, but I don't think it will be as exuberant as this year was. This year was crazy in the stock market. Absolutely exuberant, rambunctious, crazy, crazy, crazy. And that cannot last forever, okay? And I don't want you guys to start getting really bearish, but you have to expect that this will not last forever. But because of that, for me personally, I'm taking advantage of it while I can. I'm trying to grow my portfolio and take bigger risks and make sure that I can grow my portfolio as quick as possible. And it's working for me. But this won't last forever. You need to keep that in mind. But so far, these are my favorite SPACs. SBE, APXT, and BFT. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Or do you have some other favorites? I want to have that sort of dialogue. I can't wait to talk about it, because every time I release a new video, I learn something new about a company, but I also learn about a new opportunity that is potentially out there and that I get really, really excited about. And BFT is a perfect example of that. That BFT came from some comments, and we were the first to report on it. We beat everybody else to the punch, and that was really, really exciting. And a lot of us are up quite a bit because of that news. So thank you so much. I look forward to the dialogue down in the comments. I appreciate you joining me for this video. You'll see my face again when we announce the other winners of the $500 from the live stream and the 10,000 subscriber celebration. We're already at 20,000 subscribers. Probably going to hit 21,000 this today. So thank you so much. I'm humbled by all of your support, and I appreciate you joining me for every video. As always, if you didn't already do it, click that beautiful red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.